ஸ்வரம்தான் அதில் காத்து வந்து வாசிக்குமே 7 ஸ்வரம்தான் பறவைகளும் நாங்களும் தான் சேமிப்பதில்லை எங்க பரம்பரைக்கு வறுமை இல்ல பஞ்சமும் இல்ல
விடிய விடிய விளையாடுங்க முடிய முடிய சுதி போடுங்க தெருக்கு தெருக்கு துடி கொட்டுங்க பறந்து பறந்து பறை கொட்டுங்க மலையில் மலையில் பிறந்த மாணிக்கம் நாங்க மழையெல்லாம் கொட்டுது கொட்டுது மலையெல்லாம் சொட்டுது சொட்டுது விதையெல்லாம் முட்டுது முட்டுது நன்மை விளையாதோ நிலம் எல்லாம் நட்டது நட்டது விலகெல்லாம் கொட்டுது கொட்டுது வளமெல்லாம் கிட்டுது கிட்டுது செல்வம் பொழியாதோ கொண்டாடு கொண்டாடு குட்டி மேல கொட்டி கொண்டாடு பச்சை மலை கிளிய போல பறந்து பறந்து கொண்டாடு நாடு நம் நாடு பொண்ணு விளைகிற தென்னாடு ஆயிரம் இருந்தாலும் கடவுளுக்கு தாய் வீடு
கொண்டாடு கொண்டாடு கும்மி கொட்டி வந்து கொண்டாடு
Available on iTunes.
In the club, watching me, feeling me, wanting me. How about a little with me? I'll be your fantasy. Put your drink down, come to me. Do you really wanna get with me? You know you want it, come to me. I can take it no more. I just wanna feel your body, touch my body. Don't be shy, my honey. Feel my body. I just wanna feel your body, touch my body. Don't be shy, my honey. Feel my body. Feel your eyes addressing me. Temptation's calling me. I can tell this is destiny. 'Cause it feels like it's meant to be. One chance, I'll make you see. No other girl's as good as me. Say yes, take my hand so we can fly away. I just wanna.
Nani bring me to Mecca. Didi bring me Kangana. Nani bring me to Mecca. Didi bring me Kangana. Dress me like a dulha here today. Me dulha come for marry me. Dress me like a dulha here today. Me sasurala come for carry away. Me dulha come for marry me. Me sasurala come for carry away. Me dulha come for marry me. Me sasurala come for carry away. Nani bring me to Mecca.
टुल्ले ने कर दी कुटाई जब से छन्नो है खिड़की पे आई महंगी हुई है अंगड़ाई जब से छन्नो है खिड़की पे आई छन्नो है अंगारा तुम रोटी सिकवा लो छन्नो है रबड़ी तुम चम्मच से चटवा लो छन्नो के चलने में रुकने में झटका था हलवाई बेसन के लड्डू पे अटका था लस्सी से लस्सी से लस्सी से उड़ गई मलाई जब से छन्नो है खिड़की पे आई महंगी हुई है अंगड़ाई जब से छन्नो है खिड़की पे आई
Namaste, Namaskaram, Ada. Welcome to this year's edition of Desi Queer Cabaret 2021 with Pervers. My name is Rani Amasha. I'm taking over the mantle from Masala Masi and Vijuria last year. Well, I know I'm not as fabulous and brilliant as they are, but I'm going to make sure that I do my damnedest best to make you not miss them this year. We are going to be on a 2-hour journey, and this journey is going to be fabulous. We'll have artist interviews along with their performances to find out a little bit more about each of them. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Grab a glass, get some wine. I'm drinking some whiskey. There are no judgments. Let's talk a little bit about what being Desi means. Now, the term Desi does not actually just refer to the South Asian subcontinent. Through the years, there has been a lot of migration through voluntary travel, through indentured labor, and etc. From the Indian subcontinent to parts of Africa, to parts of the Caribbean. So there are quite a few Desi populations spread over the world. India itself has 28 official languages and over 5,000 dialects. So imagine, including the Desi population spread out across the world, how many languages and dialects they speak. I mean, in the Caribbean itself, you know, the Hindi that they speak is mixed with the Caribbean languages there. So the culture is so vast and vibrant and colorful. It's necessary for us to wave our flag and show our pride that yes, even though we are far away from where our roots lie, we still celebrate our cultures together. Put our differences aside for song and dance and music, because that's what we love doing and that's what brings us together. All of Bollywood is just a tiny little drop representing the vastness of who we are, the richness of what we are. Let's move on to our first performer. He is a very close friend and a talented artist, Ramiz Karim, who is one of the most prominent faces of South Asian representation here. They are presenting a piece called Prem, which means love in Hindi, and let's talk to them about it. Cheers. Hi Ramiz, how's it going?
Hi,
How's it going?
it's going very well. How are you?
Well, I'm not as busy as you. I can just say that. To get you to sit down to this, it has been quite a task.
It has.
But I've heard such great things from you that you're performing in different parts of the city of Montreal, in Mississauga, in Ottawa Pride. How has everything been going for you this year?
It's been going really well. I can say that I feel super blessed and fortunate to be getting all of this work, even though we're still dealing with a lot of the uncertainties of COVID. But I'm super happy to be able to dance and to share that with everybody, share some good energy, share some good vibrations. I think we all need it right now.
Well, I am grateful that you've decided to humbly pass on the mantle to me this year, and you are a part of the cabaret still. So I am really, really grateful to you for that. But tell us about Prem. Where did this concept come from?
It sort of stemmed from this absence that I saw in Bollywood when it came to representing stories surrounding queer love, queer representation. Also, I feel like sometimes Bollywood casts certain characters or people in molds. So it doesn't, it's not as open as it might seem. And so through this video, you know, Prem is it means love. And, you know, there's different degrees of love in Hindi. And so, you know, I feel like Prem is one of these words that you really feel a deep, profound sense of connection and attachment to something. And so that's really what this video is about. It's about the prem or love that people associate between each other. You know, it can be something friendly, it can be something that's more romantic. This whole idea about prem relating to art, relating to what you want to do, how you want to be, how you want to live your life, how you want to dress. You know, this video is very much free-spirited in the sense that, you know, guys are wearing skirts, but girls are lip syncing when the guys are lip syncing, and guys are lip syncing when the girls are lip syncing. So it's truly a video that is meant to express the love for life that we feel when we can truly be ourselves and be free within that.
I have to admit, the first time I just saw the word prem, I thought this was like a tribute to Salman Khan, because Salman Khan's favorite name in Bollywood is Prem for some reason. Like Shah Rukh says Rahul, Salman says Prem. So I was like, no.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately not. All the shirts were on in this video.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't mind some shirtless guys, but please not Salman Khan songs. Like,
right?
Anyway, and I am desperate to know, when is Masala Masi coming out of retirement?
Oh, Masala Masi is a little tired. She's sleeping for now, but let's see. Maybe she's gonna be awakened. She's sleeping beauty right now. She's waiting for her prince to come kiss her awake.
Well, for our viewers, Masala Masi was actually supposed to come out of retirement for me.
Absolutely.
But she didn't this time. So I will hold that on you, Ramiza, that you didn't do it for me this year. But let's hope Bijuria gave us a little bit of tea that she wants to do a collab, or I'm trying to force her into doing a collab.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. But hopefully we get to do this soon.
Yes, sooner than later.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ramiz. Mwah. And
thank you so much. So nice to speak to you.
It's so nice to see you, and so nice to see that you're doing so well. It's amazing to hear about your stories.
Thank you for supporting us.
Of course. Thank you. Have a good night. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. See you.
मेरे होठों से धुआंधार निकलती है जो बोली, जैसे जैसे बंदूक की गोली। मेरे तेवर में है तहजीब की रंगीन रंगोली, जैसे जैसे हो ईद में होली। मेरे होठों से धुआंधार निकलती है जो बोली, जैसे जैसे बंदूक की गोली। मेरे तेवर में है तहजीब की रंगीन रंगोली, जैसे जैसे हो ईद में होली। मेरी जीवन की दशा थोड़ा रस्तों का नशा, थोड़ी मंजिल की प्यास है, बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है, बाकी सब फर्स्ट क्लास है।
Wasn't that entertaining as hell? Actually, wasn't that just entertaining? If you did enjoy the performance, I would love for you to donate to the BIPOC Honorarium for Pervers. The link will be in the chat or below somewhere. Um, and hopefully you keep enjoying the rest of our performances. The next we have is this really young queen from India called Mayamma. They are South Indian and they live in Bangalore. I used to live in Bangalore, but we seem to have not crossed paths when we used to live there. I'm really excited to see her performance and share this with you. She is in the waiting room with us. I'm just gonna let her in now.
Hi.
Hi, Mayamma. How's it going?
Hi, Anvesh. How are you?
I'm good. Just a little bit tired. You know how it is with festivals and the police trying to shut our parties down and this
Oh,
pandemic.
is that happening in Montreal?
Of course, honey. Wherever BIPOC people go, we need to be shut down, apparently. I know the situation in India is just so bizarre, but
Yeah, exactly.
if we get into it, we will never end.
We'll never.
But it's also kind of weird because I used to live in Bangalore, right? I lived there for 5 years, and we never kind of crossed paths. Maybe because you were too young.
I can't believe you don't remember, because I remember like hanging out with you, and you, like how you said, you were a bit drunk or something like that. So you might have not remembered me, but I think I was the thinner version than this, what you see. But we hang out, and that's why when you pinged me, I was like, hey, I know you. But you were like, no, I don't know you. I was like, oh, so
I'm sorry. Oh my God. I have no idea. I think it might have been back.
This was way before my drag persona. So this is like, maybe if I show you what picture of what I was in Grinder, maybe it might light a bulb thing. And you just kept telling me, oh my God, you're such a handsome person. I'm like, okay, thanks. But that's a long time ago.
Oh my, it's 7 years. Oh, you can see all the like white in my hair. Oh.
I can't see, but I'm assuming that you're white.
I'm like covering it with my crown today. So tell me a little bit about the drag scene in Bangalore now, because I feel like I left at the moment when it just started to appear. And I never got to experience it. So I know you're there. How does drag inspire you? And what's next?
So I started performing in September 2014. There was this, I don't know if you know him. His name is Romal Laishram. Yeah. So he started this, not a group per se, but like a, to bring all the queer artists together of India, called as Queer Arts Movement of India. And he started creating events in resto pubs, and that's how he started building a culture, a queer culture basically.
Right.
And I happened to go there like twice as Alex and perform, all these Broadway numbers and all these diva numbers. But then in the second performance, I felt like I was stagnant. I was like, hey, I think I should do something different. I should do something unique. And that is when I started researching, and I came across this movie called as Mrs. Doubtfire. And I was like, hey, if Robin Williams can do drag, I can do drag too. And it was also the same time when I was acting in theater, and people were just looking at me and saying, oh, you're too feminine to play the male role.
Masculine roles, yeah.
Masculine roles, exactly. And you've got a very thick Malayali accent. Like there was a veteran actress, I'm not naming her, but she said, if you give me 6 months of your time, I will neutralize your accent. Thank God I didn't do that, because
name
this
and
accent
shame,
is my
honey.
money.
Name and shame.
So with that, I came came across drag, I started doing research. I came across this movie called as Chachi Chasobis, or also known as Avai Shanmuga in the South. Then I go to UK, and in UK and Australia, there is someone, drag queen known as, a straight drag queen known as Dame Edna. And in the US, of course, RuPaul and RuPaul's Drag Race. And with that, I was like, oh my God, this is a huge career opportunity that I should, like, take a chance on. And I just made a Malayali character coming from Kerala, and she moved to Bangalore to live with the love of her life. And I went on stage with that background, that backstory in my mind. I go on stage, perform a Malayalam song, and dance to Kajurare from the movie Mappandiya Babli. And rest you can say is history. So that is how it started. The drag scene, it was a struggle from 2014 to 2017, because not many people were open to it. Not many people saw it as a viable career form.
Right.
They started equating it with, oh, you are going through a personal journey of your own. That is, you are going to be a trans woman, and not as, oh, you are an artist. So that is what I was battling with the society, basically battling with the stereotypes I had to deal with. And it was when Lalit Group of Hotels and Mr. Keshav Suri opened doors to, like, queer artists. That is when we started getting this chance for drag queens and drag kings to perform in nightclubs and all of that. And that is how the boom in the scene happened, with a lot of drag queens and drag kings. I keep saying, I think I've auditioned for Big Boss at least twice, and that's a thing that they keep leaning on. Like, where is the sad angle, or where's the drama angle, and all of that. And I'm like,
Oh my God! Just you audition for Big Boss Kannada, like Adam Pasha?
No, Hindi.
Oh, well, Empress Zara's reign. Anyway, Empress Zara is also another interesting character, and I do miss talking
Adam
to
Pasha,
her.
basically.
Yes, Adam Pasha. I do miss talking to her and listening to her stories. We used to be friends back in the day when I was still there. But yeah, I mean, it's in India. It feels like there's this dichotomy. It's like you're either this hyper masculine gay man, or this, like, really effeminate a gay man. But the effeminate gay man is like.
So that's the problem that I'm facing, because like, I do this very feminine drag persona, and the gay community literally puts me in a pedestal. Oh, the queen has arrived. They should not touch her.
Well, in COVID times, it's good, but nobody's touching you, honey.
See, during COVID, it's great, but before
Don't
COVID,
touch
I'm
it.
like, what is this shit? Like, why are you putting me in a pedestal? Because every time I used to make it a point to be like, hey, like, I'm coming out as, like, when I'm not performing, I'm coming out as a guy. I don't have to, like, dress hyper feminine always. That's the beauty of drag, or that's the beauty of being a drag performer, that you can come out as a guy, and at the same time you can just put on a makeup, put on all the geesh, and then you're a drag queen. So it's that whole, what do you say, like, how you put it rightly, like, there's this constructs that's been built, and anything between that, people are like, no, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
India has always been, for me, that extremes. It's either you're this or you're that. If you don't fit in either this or that, then, like, the space for you is limited. And I admire, like, the work of, like, Lash Ram or Priyank back in the days. I mean, of course, he's still doing good work. I have no idea what's going on. You, Sushant Divgekar, and so many others that are still trying to like forge paths forward and create spaces for everybody, because we're all individuals, we all have some similarities, and we have a lot of still some differences, and we need to celebrate most of it. I don't want to use the term fishy, but you know, transgressing into that boundary is where, oh my God, you know, even straight men would look at her and be like, is that a woman or a man? But actually it's a woman, and then they would find out, oh, it's actually a man, but yeah, whatever, I'm still sleeping with you. But Prajwal like introduced that to like Madhav and Abhishek's parties, and people started to dress up a little bit more with Zori and who else, I can't remember. And there were the kitty party queens in Chinglung. And introducing me to that world, and I am who I am today is because of some people like them. Anyway, it was great chatting with you, Mayamma. So next year for sure, like, you know, spend some of that coin, honey, and get a proper production. I don't want some club
That's the
video.
plan. That is the plan.
Well, it was lovely, lovely seeing you, and hopefully we can collaborate in the future. We should really think about doing a series like that Mrs. Pyarelal or whatever that Gaurav Gera series was, but do it more like how we think it should be, like the guy falling in love and like thinking it's not about the gender anymore.
Exactly.
All right. Mwah. Love you, honey. And
love you too.
Hopefully see you next year if things are better in India. If not, maybe 2023. Who knows?
Awesome.
Or you will fly down here. Okay?
All right.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Pouring a bit in, heaven knows I try. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good man you always have to be. Concede, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Turn away, slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. Cold never bother me anyway. It's funny how some distance make everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go. I'm one with the wind and sky. Let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand and here I stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air and to the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. In one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go. I'll rise like a break of dawn. Let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. Cold never bothered me anyway.
I'm really excited about the next artist. Mayama's performance was amazing. She of course, has promised that she will do maybe a Malayalam production for us next year. If you did enjoy her performance, please donate to the Pervers BIPOC Honorarium. All of the proceeds will go to paying BIPOC organizers, volunteers, and artists for all the hard work that they've done for the festival. Now, on to our next performer. His name's Kaustav. I call him Kaya because all Indians are my brothers and sisters, and most of them are usually my sisters. So, following in Gandhi's footsteps there a little bit, Kaustav is a very talented individual who has studied music and singing, has a lot of ideas, and the performance that he's presenting is based on Rabindranath Tagore's works. Rabindranath Tagore is very influential in Bengali literature and culture, but not just Bengali, but also to a certain extent had been in English. You can put in Bengali words, just we would have to
bring in the context.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rabindranath Tagore as a queer icon, I would say the first instances that we see come up from Shantiniketan or the life around Shantiniketan. So when he set up Vishwabharati University, that was the first point of time that people started coming together, and expressing art was not just for the purpose of seeking freedom or to make a very bold statement or a revolutionary statement, which was happening, I would say, centered around most poets or literary figures around that point of time. Into around Shantiniketan, it was bringing everybody together, irrespective of their identities. And it was also the first point of time when it starts breaking from the norms of the typical patriarchal society that we even had in Bengali culture and arts at that point of time. So people coming together from different backgrounds, different religions, different ethnicities, and they are for the first time practicing a form of art which is more contemplative in a way, I would say. Because yes, there is this sense of romanticism when we talk about Tagore, and like revolutionaries, how they used to mock the arts that was happening around Shantiniketan, because it had nothing to do with earning the bread at the end of the day, that sort of thing. But these people coming together, developing their consciousness, and I would say from examples like even artists like Ram Kinkar Bej, who taught at Shantiniketan, who was a professor of fine arts for many, many years. And at that point of time, he was one of the first people over there to indulge in a non-marriage live-in relationship. So this is happening way even before independence, around our independence. So that sort of ideas made people realize that they could be themselves, they could express themselves. Parallelly, the way that people used to perceive the arts and culture evolving around Tagore, it was considered more to be male in a way. So something that is more for the women who have the time to think about those things. So when men got involved in that form of music or dance or other art forms, the idea or the mockery of using words like pansy and faggots, that also came into being at that point of time. And from there, so I remember this very famous phrase in Bengali, which I have to use, It's called Ei Dhenu, Toke Phul Chure Marbo, which translates into cow, like if there is a cow which is blocking the road, the men would typically say that I will throw flowers at you. Well, that was the first form of stereotype that generated over there. And it, like, such events actually never happened, but it's the way that, you know, this mockery came into the society of Calcutta and other places around, mostly urban Bengal, perceived that sort of notion. And from there, actually, people started embracing it in a different way. So what was actually a negative later on progressed into a much more positive way of expression. And over the period of time, that's when we start finding more people, queer people, who identify publicly as queer or closeted. They start finding their own paradise around Shantiniketan, particularly around Vishwavarati. And I would say later on, what translated into the urban Bengal lifestyle was a takeaway from Shantiniketan only. So, you know, how it was almost felt as something exotic that you do during your post-Mala vacations, like in winter, or you go during celebrating Dol Jatra or Holi over there. So what people who were already present at Shantiniketan at this point of time, who are more open about expressing themselves, that influenced the urban population that went to Shantiniketan as sort of an exotic destination which is within the reach of the city. And that influence gradually spread out to more urban queer circles over the point of time. And that's how I would say the first instance that Rabindranath is becoming a queer icon. It's not Rabindranath who is himself contributing a lot in this first, you know, phase of understanding the queerness revolving around him, but it was more about the people of Shantiniketan, the environment of Shantiniketan that allowed people to practice their own identities without being judged. That translated into the urban society of Kolkata, and which later on, I would say, people started more looking into what he wrote and how it embodies the concept of queerness or gender fluidity and all these other notions. There is a huge study that can be done on feminism, how he promoted the idea of the female soul not being suppressed by men, or even through like plays like Shama, for instance. So Shama is a play where a woman is being pursued by three different men who have their own interests, but even with Shama being a victim of such situations revolving around her, that was one of the first instances. So people gradually started looking into how he was actually instrumental in saying a lot of like why the life around Shantiniketan was that open, why people could express themselves. The importance of his English works are being re-evaluated today, and that certainly, I would say, sets a stage where his English works can be popularized more. And that was an interesting point you mentioned, that he was So for the popular people,
there are things I will discuss with you in private about my trip, about my visit to the Thakur Bari in Kolkata and what I felt about it. But maybe next year we can expand this a little bit more, maybe have like an entire like half-hour segment dedicated to Thakur. All right. Well, it's lovely to see you. Hopefully I will
it's
see you
always
soon.
love to be
Thank you.
See you
Thank you.
soon.
And
thank you.
I will see you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Kostav. Today in this segment of Desi Queer Cabaret, I'm going to talk about gender fluidity in the literary works of Rabindranath Tagore, who is also popularly known as Tagore. Growing up in urban Bengal, Tagore is not just an integral part of my identity, but also one of the foremost queer icons. Although he's considered a cisgendered heterosexual man, his literary works throughout the span of his life showcase notions of feminism, gender fluidity, and gender neutrality. One of the first instances of his queer literature was penned down just at the age of 16. Bhanu Singhir Podaboli, or Songs of Bhanu Simha, was Tagore's homage to the earlier forms of Vaishnavite Bengali literature. Unlike prior literary stalwarts who look at Krishna with devotional love, Tagore himself transforms into the characters of Radha, sometimes women around her, and sometimes into the alter ego of Tagore himself, Bhanu Simha, who is a teenage boy. The following song showcases how Tagore adores the aura of gender fluid romanticism revolving around Krishna. Gahana kusuma kunja majhe mridula madhura vangshi baje bisari tras lok laje sajaniya ao lo gahana kusuma kunja majhe pinah charu nilabas hriday pranaya kusumaras pinah charu nilabas hriday pranaya kusumaras harina netre vimalahas harina netre vimalahas kunjabana me aolo gahana kusuma kunja majhe dekh lo sakhe shamaraya nayane prem uthal jay madhura badana amrita sadana chandramaya nindiche आओ आओ सजनी वृंद हेरब सखी श्री गोविंद आओ आओ सजनी वृंद हेरब सखी श्री गोविंद श्याम को पदार बिंद श्याम को पदार बिंद भानु सिंह बंदी छे गहन कुसुम कुंज माझे. Throughout his dance dramas, Tagore has transformed into various shades of the feminine, from a strong-minded warrior princess in Chitrangada to a politically revered yet hopelessly submissive seductress in Shama. However, there are also multiple pieces of poetry and songs that are not restricted to any thematic collection or play, nonetheless showcasing femininity and gender fluidity. The following song is an example how Tagore is not just a genius playwright, but also a champion of gender fluid love. তোমার পথের কাঁটা করব চয়ন, সেথায় তোমার ধুলায় শয়ন, সেথায় আঁচল পাতব আমার, তোমার রাগে অনুরাগী কলঙ্ক ভাগী। আমি সূচি আসন টেনে টেনে বেড়াব না বিধান মেনে, যে পঙ্কে ওই চরণ পড়ে তাহারি ছাপ বক্ষে মাগি কলঙ্ক ভাগী। আমি তোমার প্রেমে হব সবার কলঙ্ক ভাগী। আমি সকল দাগে হব দাগী কলঙ্ক ভাগী। আমি তোমার প্রেমে হব সবার কলঙ্ক ভাগী। As we move on to the final song in this segment, I must also point out how the vast quantity of Tagore's works makes research on him practically non-exhaustive. There is a plethora of his works, both in English and Bengali, that are contextual even today in every sphere of life. One such song from the play Oruproton explores how a man professes his love for the moon, also personified as a man. This is one of the finest instances of queer love, where the notions of the dominant and the submissive are destroyed by the ideals of equality. Aha, তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণের খেলা, আহা তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণের খেলা। প্রিয় আমার ওগো প্রিয়, বড় উতলা আজ পরাণ আমার, খেলাতে হার মানবে কি? আহা তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণের খেলা, কেবল তুমি কি গো এমনি ভাবে রাঙিয়ে মোরে পালিয়ে যাবে? তুমি সাধ করে নাথ ধরা দিয়ে আমার রং ঋত কমলের রাঙা রেণু রাঙাবে ওই উত্তরী আহা তোমার সঙ্গে প্রাণে
Hi, my name is Aditya Vardhan. I'm so sorry, Rani Amasha, that we couldn't get to chat in person, but I'm very excited to show my work to North American audiences. Talking with Rani, there were a couple of questions she wanted to ask, so let's get into them. So, first question is, in your performance caption, you talked about breaking gender stereotypes. What does gender fluidity or fluid gender identity mean to you? So, I feel like gender is more the feeling of contentment than being a label. Segregating people by the label of their gender can't be a fit for society anymore. Liberty is not merely a word but a feeling, and people can't even understand what a person goes through when someone questions their gender. It might look like a small thing, but such uncertainty can be someone's worst nightmare. We can do a lot by just our acceptance of the contentment of people. So that's my opinion on gender fluidity or gender fluid identity. And second question is, tell us a little bit about your upcoming projects. Okay, so I am a music lover person. I love old Bollywood music, like songs which have classical dances, classical semi-classical dances, like that of Vaijayanti Mala ma'am. The song which I have chosen is of Vaijayanti Mala ma'am. She is my favorite retro actress. Her dance is just beyond this world. I want to make those type of projects. I don't want to spoil the vibe of that song which have on that video or something. So that's my upcoming projects for future. And last question is, if you decided to do drag, my name would be Rani Umrao Jan something, because courtesans of India, Tawayafs. I'm so fascinated with those courtesan culture, the Tawayafs. I have also made a short film on Tawayafs, courtesans of India. It's called Tawayaf Nama. I love their culture. They have tehzeeb and everything, like every ada. That's why I want my name to be Umrao Jan, as I'm so fascinated with those Tawayaf culture. Check it out, and that's all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rania Masha, for this beautiful opportunity. And
बिरहा की आग तन मन सुलगाए चमकत प्रेम ज्वाला नंद लाला जुल्म याद आवन लागी मोहे रोज रोज तर पावन लागी चले सांस घबरावन लागी सावरो कहा मैं हूँ तिहारी प्रीत की मारी आजा मुरारी
चमकत नाचत कन्हाई तत थई तिरगिट तुम किट घेग दिन चाल ढाल छब न्यारी दय तारी बारी बारी तट बाजत पगनू पुर झनकारी बाजत पगनू पुर झनकारी बाजत पगनू पुर झनकारी
जा रे जा कान्हा जा रे जा चलो छोड़ो मोरे हाथ जालिमा जा रे कान्हा जा रे जा हट तो सिखम ना बोले जालिमा कान्हा जा रे जा
हमसे न रूठो राधा हमसे न रूठो राधा जिया न जलाओ राधा जिया न जलाओ राधा मुरली की तान तुम राधा मुरली की तान तुम राधा मोरा तुम ही राग तुम ही रंग तुम ही प्राण हो राधा प्राण हो राधा प्राण हो
Wasn't Aditya Vardhan's performance just amazing? The first time I watched this video, I was like, wow. And I became this instant fan. And she just blows my mind with how young he is and how talented he is and the amount of passion he has for Kathak. You peeps should definitely check out more of his performance videos on YouTube. I'm sorry he couldn't be here to chat with us. If you did like his performance, please do not forget to donate to the BIPOC Honorarium. I know I'm just repeating myself at this point, but you know, we need that money. Our next queen is Cheyenne, who blew us away last year with this amazing performance parody on Indian matrimony. She performed all the characters, did all the makeup by herself and everything. This year, she's gone a little bit different. She's been affected by the pandemic, as have all of us. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hello.
How is it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Well, we are 3 hours ahead of you. The night is already dead. I'm decked like this, and then I have to take it all off and go to bed. So
imagine that, but you're in drag with corsets and 5 layers, and your eyebrows are blocked, and so much makeup.
I know. And then you're just like,
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm so grateful to you to be a part of this cabaret with us. I was wondering
Thank
if
you.
you could tell us about how this pandemic affected you and why did you choose these songs?
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's interesting with the pandemic because I was actually had taken a bit of a break from drag for a year and a half. So I did it for a year or something in 2018, and then I stopped pretty much in 2019 and 2020. And then finally, I was so bored. I was stuck in Bombay at my parents' house, and I was so bored, and I had to do something. And I had bought just a bit of makeup for fun, and that's all I had. And this was in Bombay during the pandemic when you could not really even step out of the house because there was nothing open except maybe banks and grocery stores. So I found one grocery store that also happened to sell some makeup. So I had a few products. Then I stole some of my sister's old stuff. She lives with a husband now. So her old bedroom, I ransacked that, and I bought a couple of things from this grocery store. And that's all I had. And I just started doing it again and just started locking my door and painting my face. And eventually I found a wig somewhere in some store. And honestly, it was fun. It was fun. And actually my mom ended up helping me do one look, which was a sari look.
Nice.
So that was, yeah.
So this is where the entire genius of your parody of Indian matrimony was born, in being locked up and cooped in Bombay.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, my parents were helping me. I bought some of my mom's clothes. My dad helped me shoot it.
Nice. Oh my God. Like I can just think of this like a mini movie of this like family coming together with like dahi shakkar and everything, and just like it's like ja beta ja jile apni zindagi as a drag queen. It would be hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. This was the first time they saw me in drag. I was mostly otherwise being like, okay, y'all know now, it's fine. I was the one who was awkward. I was like, no. And I share this story sometimes on stage because I do a lot of stand-up comedy. And then people are like, start clapping for my parents and stuff. And I'm like, why? It was so awkward.
I mean, I can just imagine. I cannot imagine talking to my mom like, hey, I do drag sometimes and this is who I am.
Yeah.
She'll be like, what? You're disowned. So
no,
but
my parents were very sweet. Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky, and it's always like heartwarming to hear those stories of having lucky parents. But tell us about the song selection. What motivated you for that as songs that got you through the pandemic?
Yeah, so these were just a few songs that I really fell in love with. Some of the artists that I was listening to a lot, like Harry Styles, and I really fell in Rosalia this past year, and of course Lizzo had a big moment, and so these were just some of the songs I was like jamming to alone in my bedroom. But I've also really gotten back in touch with a lot of my Bollywood roots because I grew up in Bombay. I worked in Bollywood, so I've definitely had a lot of exposure. And so I've been listening to a lot of Bollywood music. But in this show, I decided not to add that. But it's coming up.
And maybe in the middle, you can put in some Bollywood numbers, and we could do this as like as the Cheyenne Pepper show, with this parody of the show with like 10 Bollywood numbers in the middle. I would like a guest spot.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
Well, yeah. It was amazing talking to you, Cheyenne. Thank you for spending time with us. I know I wish we could have talked longer. I know we have like had some discussions about how you are still thinking about changing a drag name. Have you decided upon a new drag name, or are you still sticking with Cheyenne?
This is a tough topic because I would really like to use the name. I'll just say it, Kali Pepper, because I think that would be really fun because it's like, black pepper, whatever, maintained part of my old name. But it's hard because I'm really reluctant with what's happening in India right now with the whole right-wing Hindu nationalism, Hindutva movement. Using the name of a goddess just feels a little bit dangerous to me. And this is something a name that I might want to use in the long run. So I don't know what's going to happen in India. I don't know who they're going to target next, for what reason. And I am a stand-up comedian, and they do have a history of targeting stand-up comedians.
Right.
So using the name of a goddess for something that they might look down upon, you know how it is. Being queer is always, you have to be aware of the political realities of, the world.
I have been trying to convince Cheyenne to use Tikhi Nautanki. She hasn't been convinced yet.
I've been getting used to it. I like it. It's hard for the North Americans to spell.
Who cares about the North Americans? It's all about us, honey. For the viewers who don't know what Tikhi Nautanki means spicy, Nautanki means drama queen. I mean, aren't we all that in the end? So
I definitely am.
Well, I will hold you to doing that Bollywood number, those Bollywood numbers, and I want a guest spot. I'm sure Bijuria wants a guest spot. I'm sure Masala Masi wants a guest spot. We should all. I hope next year, if we get to do this cabaret thing in person, I hope to invite you to come to Montreal and perform in person.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be legendary. It would be a great party. And all of us would just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That would be so exciting.
I hope we're just alive until then. But thank you, Tikhi Nautanki. I loved Indian Matrimony, and I love this performance, and I'm sure our viewers will love you after this.
Thank you, Anvesh.
Talk
Bye.
soon. Mwah. Bye.
Don't you know too much already? I'll only hurt you if you let me. Call me friend, but keep me closer. And I'll call you when the party's over. Quiet and I'm coming home and I'm on my own. And I could lie, say I like it like that, like it like that. Yeah, I could lie, say I like it like that, like it like that. But nothing is better sometimes. You got me some type of way. Ain't used to feeling this way. I do not know what to say. But I know I shouldn't think about it. So one fucking look at your face. Now I wanna know how you taste. Usually don't give it away. But you know I'm already thinking about it. Then I realize she's right there, and I'm at home like, damn, this ain't fair. Break up with your girlfriend, yeah, 'cause I'm bored. You can hit it in the morning, yeah, like it's yours. I know it ain't right, but I don't care. Break up with your girlfriend, yeah, 'cause I'm bored. This shit always happened to me.
Vamos a arrancarlo con altura.
El demo lo canto con Honduras. Dicen una estrella, una figura. De Héctor aprendí la sabrosura. Nunca he visto una joya tan pura.
Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven pa' la sepultura.
Con altura. Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura.
Pongo rosas sobre el Panamera. Pongo palmas sobre la Guantanamera. Llevo camarones la guantera. La hago pa' mi gente y lo hago a mi manera. Flores azules y quilates. Y si es mentira que me mate. Flores azules y quilates. Y si es mentira que me mate.
Con altura. Con altura.
Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Con altura.
Demasiadas noches de travesura.
Con altura.
Vivo rápido y no tengo cura.
Con altura.
Y de joven para la sepultura.
Con altura. Esto es pa' que quede lo que yo hago dura.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, don't say it 'cause I know I'm cute. Oh, baby. Louis down to my drawers, LV all on my shoes. Oh, baby. I be dripping so much sauce, got a bit looking like Grey Goose. Oh, baby. Lit up like a crystal ball, that's cool, baby, so is you, that's how I roll. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. Yeah, I'm gold. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. Now you know. I like shot and naked better over time. Now you know. Just say I'm not the baddest bitch you like. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the put it in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Layla Gulabi. I use they them pronouns, pulsate. Yeah, because of the pandemic, like I have to be in my parents' home in which is fine. Like I'm really happy to have a roof over my head, but there's like no privacy. Can you hear me? Anyway, no, I'm not in the bathroom. No, that is not the case. So my family comes from Guyana, and if you don't know where Guyana is, get a map because it's South America, but culturally we're Caribbean. I personally descend from South Asian indentured labor, and but Caribbean culture, is a blend of beautiful, beautiful people from around the world, from South Asia, from Africa. It's a big mix, and it is beautiful. It's our culture is the creolized legacy of people who survived terrible abuses and human trafficking. Anyway, enough about that. I'm just a fine, cool woman of diaspora. Anyway, so like, of course, there are like other people who are Guyanese cheerleaders for the video. My God, I'm kind of favorite. But in the Caribbean, our culture is the legacy of Afro-Caribbeans just as much as it is of Indo-Caribbeans. We have songs like this.
Well, if a girl take two man in a one night, then we know she's a hoe.
But we also have songs like this.
I know you're smart and you're sexy. Never let them abuse your body. Show it off, y'all, and let
Us Caribbean people continue to take and celebrate our roots. And the following footage is not meant for the cisgender heterosexual gays. This content, I hope, will inspire the autonomy, independence, and sexual liberation of the queer body, the queer individual, the femme, the trans person, the female body and spirit. If you take issue with that, I'm sorry, sweetie. You're just gonna have to fuck off, or I can kick you out of this meeting. Anyway, enjoy. Toodle, Layla.
हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा. हम तेरे बिन अब रह नहीं सकते, तेरे बिना क्या वजूद मेरा. तुझसे जुदा अगर हो जाएंगे तो खुद से ही हो जाएंगे जुदा क्योंकि तुम ही हो अब तुम ही हो जिंदगी अब तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरा दर्द भी मेरी आशिकी अब तुम ही हो एक पल दूर गवारा नहीं तेरे लिए हर रोज है जीते तुझको दिया मेरा वक्त सभी कोई लम्हा मेरा ना हो तेरे बिना हर सांस पे नाम तेरा
Before I die, I wanna fuck you, baby. I don't even wanna go back home. याद करता tryna fuck you, baby. Hopefully we don't have no babies. और अभी मुझे घर नहीं जाना, अकेली मत छोड़ो. याद करता I'm tryna fuck you, baby. बचानी चाहिए याद candy. और अभी मुझे घर नहीं जाना, अकेली मत छोड़ो. याद करता I'm tryna fuck you, baby.
Control it, gal, roll it down. Oh my God, wasn't Lela just fantastic? It like Lela always like astounds me with her talent, and she's hilarious. I love her. I love her. I hope you all loved her. If you did love her performance, please don't forget to donate to Pervers, to the honorarium. Our next queen is Bijuria. She is semi-Desi, but she's not from South Asia. We can talk a little bit more about that with her. She's right now not vacationing in Italy. She is on a scholarship thing, and she is using this opportunity to take so many pictures and rubbing it in our faces. Without further ado, let me bring in Bijuria. How are you?
I'm good, you?
It's like, what is this? What is this?
Where am I? I'm in a castle in Italy working on my thesis. And it's yeah, I feel very blessed to be here, but you can be reassured by the fact that I don't take pictures of me washing my own laundry, me reading a tons of books, me being on Word and on Excel and all that stuff, you know. So it's a friend. But also
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a friend, but I'm also very, very, very reconnaissant, grateful to be here and have that opportunity to like focus on that stuff.
Why do I feel like you're going to turn this entire like doing laundry by yourself and working on Word and Excel as an entire like drag performance piece? As Bijuria.
Well, now you're giving me the idea, and it's gonna be.
Well, I hope it's a Bollywood song, or something like we
Satyam Shivam Sundara. I'll do Satyam Shivam Sundara instead of washing the lingam. I'll be washing my clothes.
Anyway, all right. So let's dive in. We would like to know how you know, you do a lot of like Desi drag. What inspired you to get into Desi drag, and how are you using your Desi dragness to spread your message?
Well, I actually started drag to engage with my queer and brown kind of intersection, because before that, and I still am like an artist, like that's what I've always done. I've always been in those circles, but I've noticed that like being, and I'm half, you know, I'm half Quebecois, so like I am pretty kind of like used to these networks of making art in these pretty, you know, monocultural white audiences and collaborators and all that. And I don't have my dad also is from Trinidad, so he's Indo-Caribbean, and we were in Quebec City. So I've never had a sense of a brown community, like ever. And I felt like I also had a huge imposter syndrome when it comes to even meeting like people like you and the people I know now. I don't think that without drag, I would have felt as welcome, if that makes sense. Because through the drag, I can show like, okay, I might be really clueless, not speak any language fluently. I might not be understanding what festival is what and all of that, you know. But like, I bet I know more music than your friend there, or I bet I know more Bollywood references, because that was my way to really connect to the culture.
Mm. Well, how do you feel that reconnecting with this culture? Are you expanding like the reach to Quebecois audiences or Canadian audiences? Like, how is that working out?
Yeah, I guess like my first goal was really to because it's pretty narrow, right? What I would do in the context of Quebec, and I like it that way. And I have people that follow my work. I mean, doesn't mean they're like fans or anything, but that like will be my followers on Instagram, or that would show up if I was at a show. But and these people might be POC, they might be white, they might be black, they might be indigenous, they might be any kind of thing. And I like that, but I understand that sometimes I play with references that are so precise because I want the Desi people to be like, oh, I see what you're doing. And that's what I like. I like the aspect of being very specific, because I don't think art is not universal. Like it is in many ways, but it can't flatten all the richness that is in all these different groups and different identities.
Agreed. What other icon from Bollywood can I force upon you to, which other, let's say, because I have tried to introduce you to Rakhi Sawant and you were like, ah! And then I tried to introduce you to like, I don't remember her name anymore, Ma something. And you were like, ah! So like, who else, honey? Because Karina is done. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
She has a baby.
Yeah, I honestly, it always has to start from a place of me already connecting with it. Otherwise, it's artificial, you know. So sometimes it takes lots of time for me to feel like I can do something and have my twist on it, you know. So
I have to send you this Instagram account that does amazing parodies of like Saif Ali Khan's daughter.
Oh god.
And Kareena Kapoor. I will send it to you right after this.
Yeah.
But when are we collaborating? Because you know that I have wanted to dance with you and I wanted to put you in a sari and dance with you. So when is this happening?
Well, whenever we're unmasked and within the reach of 1 meter and we can touch. That means pretty much now, except if Delta fucks it up. But also, like I'm across the ocean, so we can't do it now.
So we can do this now. But hopefully next year, if I'm doing or if we are doing the Queer Cabaret again, because you did it last year, we should do like a proper number. Maybe get Masala Masi out of retirement and do a proper thing with each other. No, I have made it a little bit of my mission to like teach you how to dance. So it was lovely to see you, Biju. It's been so long since we have seen each other and I haven't sung तिरछी निगाहें मेरे दिल पे गिरा है तू बिजुरिया बिजुरिया बिजुरिया. But I hope we get to see each other soon. Enjoy your time in Italy. I know your lovely husband is here and is missing you probably. But we should all hang out and just celebrate being alive in a pandemic.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for organizing this.
Doing my best here. Not doing as good as the job as you last year, but doing my best here. See you soon, honey. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
In the early 2000s, Kareena Kapoor makes her Bollywood debut. A star is born.
Yeah, thanks to nepotism.
The world fell in love. Danced, sang, and lip-synced to her songs. And Bijuria was no exception.
दुपट्टा
how Bijoria loved these songs. Dancing in front of her mirror, pretending she's a star. This other song is also a Korean song, also from the early 2000s, also in a movie where she co-starred with Tushar Kapoor, also with a playback singer Anuradha Sriram, and also about dupattas as euphemism for other stuff. Let's offer some translation. When I turned 16, my condition became really bad. Guys started to follow me. They teased and troubled me. How can I save my life from them? Where should I go and hide? Where should I go and hide?
Hey, can we skip that really sexist part and go to the end? Yeah, the part about the scarf. Yeah, that one.
Hello and welcome. My name is mi amorcito. Tonight we're going to be talking with Rani Amasha, a wonderful performer and a very good friend of mine. Hi Rani.
Hi Mia, thank you for doing this with me.
It's always a pleasure to be with you.
You're such a flirt, Mia.
Tell me about the numbers that you're going to be performing tonight for us.
Well, these two songs are tributes to two friends that I lost last year. They were some of my closest friends. And I'm hoping that wherever they are, they see this tribute and feel that I did justice to them. The first song is called Chane Ke Khet Mein, which is a tribute to my friend Faria. And the second song is called Desi Girl, which is a tribute to my friend Prajwal.
Tell me about Faria and how she inspired this number.
Well, Faria, I've known her since 2006. And, you know, with time and distance, friendships, they grow apart. But she is this formidable, strong woman who always fought for the underdog. She fought for immigrant rights, indigenous rights, queer rights, etc. But this song, Chane Ke Khet Mein, is like an inside joke between us. It's a song about a woman who is ecstatically happy about being raped in a field. And she is doing the song at a wedding. It's ridiculous, right? Faria didn't speak Hindi or know Hindi that much, but she grew up with 90s Bollywood. And the lead actress of the song is one of our favorite actresses and dancers. So when we were talking about the song and I told her what it meant, she was like, what, really? And they're doing this at a wedding? Why the fuck would they even do this? The 90s, oh my God, child. So that's why I thought this would be a hilarious tribute to her.
And what about Prajwal?
Prajwal, she was this beautiful cis gay man who helped me embrace my femininity. She could dress up as a boy or a woman and walk on the street, and straight men would turn around and look at her and be like, is that a woman? And then they wouldn't care and still fuck her. I wish I was like that. Prajwal is not just beautiful, but ambitious, career-driven, strong, and very opinionated. But the first thing that people would always notice about Prajwal is her beauty. So Desi Girl is a song about this woman who is a girl next door but still unattainable, and all of these men are just falling at her feet trying to get her.
I can relate to that.
Can't we both? So I thought it would be a fitting tribute to Prajwal.
Tell me how it's important to pay tribute to your friends, to you.
Well, you know how last year has been hard for us. COVID literally shutting the world down, us not being able to see our friends. And we don't really understand the depth and meaning of someone until we really lose them. And Prajwal and Faria, with their core beliefs, are two of the biggest influences in my life. Faria helped me open up more politically, become more aware of how the world works, while Prajwal helped me become more open about taking risks, taking an adventure, laughing at adversity, you know. And I really wanted to show how much I loved them. So these tributes are my way of showing my love for them, my way of showing their friends and family my love for them. I don't think I will ever be able to show them how important and big influences they were on my life. This is just my small way of doing it.
I see that you have decided to showcase your culture in this performance. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
You know, South Asian culture isn't represented much in Quebec. Montreal is such a transient city. Most immigrants who come here move to either Ontario or British Columbia, not just for the weather, but language, racism, economic hardships, etc., right? Lack of access. So I feel it's important for us to show that we're here, we're queer, you know, queer South Asians who come here, they need to know that it's not Toronto. Montreal could be an answer too. And I also want to show that us South Asians, we aren't grateful to the white man for being here. We're grateful to the indigenous peoples for welcoming us here. I feel our cultures, our belief systems, our values aren't that different with the indigenous cultures. So it is important to me to show that, but also be grateful to them and help them with working towards an equitable and just society, the indigenous peoples and the Black peoples.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mia.
Gracing us tonight with a powerful performance and a beautiful look, Rani and Masha.
I don't know about powerful, honey, but we are both powerful here tonight. Thank you.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much.
Love you.
Thank you.
घूंघट में
Boom, 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 boom.
Faria, I was being forced to move from Toronto to India, and she told me that she would gamble with her reputation just on my talent. And that inspired me till this day. Sorry, now we need a second.
My God. Completely unhinged. Okay.
Well, it's the end of the night. I hope you really enjoyed all of our performances. God knows I deserve this drink. Thank you to all of our viewers, but especially thank you to all of the performers. Veils of Bollywood, Mayama, Gustav, Cheyenne, Leila, Aditya Vardhan, Bijuria, and of course, moi, for doing all of this for you. I'm just kidding. But thank you for watching us. Thank you for supporting us. Please continue to support Perversity. We are an anti-capitalist, corporate-free abolitionist pride festival, and we hope to do more events during the year. Your love and support is what keeps us going. Without you, Desi Queer Cabaret wouldn't have happened. So thank you all, and I hope to see you again next year, hopefully in person. Cheers.